Hi everybody, welcome back to Loading Checkpoint. We're back in Banished, back in the town of Bondsbriar to try and, I guess, get them through this first winter. So I'm not entirely sure where we left off last time. I think we had just finished building the schoolhouse in preparation for some of the children to start coming of age to be taught. And we had the fishing dock going. It's collecting lots of food, and yeah, we have a good amount of things built up to keep us going for the time being. So I guess we just need to kind of look at what we need next, really. Watching some of the older videos that I did, like the original videos that I did with this series, I'm not entirely sure if building a schoolhouse this early was a really good idea. We have a pretty fixed amount of laborers at the moment, and some of these supplies are going to be dwindling down. Like, we only have 9 coats and 21 tools at the moment, so it might actually be best to not staff the schoolhouse with a teacher quite yet, if only because we're going to need a couple more hands in the village to actually do stuff, help us build buildings and gather resources and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know. I think we'll be operating under that assumption for the time being, and you know, maybe I'll be surprised and we'll get a whole bunch of supplies over this next little while. But I have a feeling that we're going to need more people. So anyways, what we need, I think we need more lumber at the moment, so I'm gonna just start assigning jobs for people. So let's start gathering some wood. I'm just gonna get right into it here. I think that there's you guys, I'm sure you guys have watched the first couple of videos, and if you haven't, you should probably go check it out. And so you probably understand exactly what's going on. I don't think we need very many builders right now. I'll just leave one sitting there for the time being. And I think, yes, I am going to take the teacher away. So I know Jazz Lynette here was just about to come of age to be able to go to school, but I think she'll be better off actually working in the town for the time being. So I think really the most important thing to get on top of at the moment is that we don't have any medicine. And medicine is what your people need to keep their health up, and without that, well, they'll start to become ill, and then eventually they will die. So we need to find a good place to put a what do they call it here? Is it under here? Not the gatherer's hut, but the no, where is it? Maybe I missed it. Did I miss it? Oh no, it's in here. That's right, the herbalist. So you need to find the herbalist's hut. And you need to set it down somewhere. It needs to be. Oh, that's right. My goodness, I completely forgot that we were building this. That's why we needed a whole bunch of builders. Right. Well, we have a hunting cabin being built out here in the woods, and that's really good. I'm gonna put the herbalist right next to it, I guess. That'll be a good place for it. It's really important, as I was trying to say before, that you put the herbalist kind of out in the middle of the wilderness, because the people who work there need to have access to the forest to be able to gather their supplies. So I think that will be a good place for it. And we'll assign that extra worker that we had lying around to go and help them out there. And I think at this point it might actually be a good idea to reassign somebody from the fishing hut. Let's take a look. Tressica and Meyer are here. Meyer, the wife of Fishermain, the head fisherman of the town, of course, who is right there. Yes. He's just, I guess, going back to pick up some resources, possibly to go and help out start construction with these buildings. Hopefully we can get them done in a short order. And see, this is what I was talking about. When you build the hunting cabin, it actually requires 3 people to staff it fully, and the herbalist requires, I think, just 1. but you can staff it with as many. Well, I think you can staff it with 2 actually, but you can. It'll collect enough resources with only 1 for the time being, anyway, until your town gets really big. But that's 5 whole people that we would need to actually assign over to here to be able to get a full complement of resources coming in. And if we're going to be teaching our next wave of children, and they're not going to be available for another, 7 years or however long. That's obviously not a not something that we could feasibly handle, which is kind of unfortunate. Yeah, I guess we'll just kind of have to wait for them to build these. It looks like they're finally bringing some logs here. I'm also going to set up a road that will connect these 2 buildings to the rest of the town. Make sure that I may have misplaced. It looks like I've misplaced that. This is my anal retentiveness coming out a little bit. I like to make sure that they are side by side so that we can have a road running directly in front of both buildings like that. And then we can just take the road straight out to there. And hopefully that will get built, and then that'll allow quick travel back and forth between the town and the hunting cabin and the herbalist's hut, so that we can start having those resources come in more quickly. Trying to think. We have people who are still gathering supplies over here. The foundation finally for the hunting cabin has been fully laid down, so should be built in short order. We have a family of deer that's just sort of walking through the village. No big deal. Once the hunting cabin over there is built, obviously this will not stand, and these families of deer will be slaughtered mercilessly in front of all the children to teach them sort of the meaning of life and the circle of life, Cue Disney music. But for the time being, we'll let it slide, just because we don't have people with bows and arrows running around to take care of them. Let's see, we have people. Meyer here is carrying a box of fish to the storage shed, and it looks like she says she's visiting the herbalist. No, she's picking up resources. She must be carting some of this stuff back to the central storage barn for people to have access to. I'm going to set this building as a priority because it doesn't look like it's being built very quickly. And hopefully this road will get built here pretty quick, but we have lots of people who are assigned to be builders for us, so hopefully that will all get done in very short order. I'm going to zoom out a little bit and just take a look at the map. So yeah, we have a big copse of trees over here. And then, so it's sort of interspersed, but it's mainly iron, actually. I have an abundance of iron here, which is kind of exciting. And then there's not a whole lot more woods anywhere, really. There's lots of hills and lots of little mountains, and that makes, that's going to make building actually quite difficult. There's this big island, or peninsula or whatever you want to call it down here, that has lots and lots of space and lots of flat ground, which will be good for us to actually build on. But for the time being, I think we just have to stick with it here in this little area. And I mean, we're doing pretty well so far. We're gonna have another person coming of age right away, and then 2 more shortly after them. I apologize, Fisherman. Your children will be illiterate for the time being, and we don't have any sort of what would you call that? Schooling after the fact. We don't have anything like that. I'm not entirely sure what the proper terminology for that is. So much for how much I know. Here we go. Hunting cabin has finished. So I'm going to unassign some of these builders, and I'm going to establish a couple of hunters in there. We're going to have to make sure we keep at least 2 extra laborers free for when the season change, because we're going to need to replenish our farmers back to full to make sure that we have enough crops coming in to sustain the town throughout the year. But I think for the time being, having a couple people here working in the hunting cabin will be really good for us, especially because the hunting cabin is a supply of food as well as leather that we can turn into coats. Of course, to actually construct the coats, we're going to need to build a tailor's, but we can worry about that once we actually have a supply of leather coming in. Looks like we finally have somebody building the road. Here we have Rezi, a young 19-year-old woman who's officially a builder in the town at the moment, and she is picking away at the ground, establishing this dirt path. And I guess now she's going to take a rest because she's cold, which, fair enough, it's a -4 degrees Celsius here in Bondsbriar, and I'm sure the chill wind that's coming off of the river and blowing the smell of fish all over the village is, kind of chills you right to the bone. Let's see, how is this herbalist coming? We've only removed 2 things from the 12 that are necessary, so I'm going to once again reestablish this as a priority. We're definitely going to need to make sure we get that done quickly. We've already dropped a full health worth of heart for our health, so it's really important to make sure that you keep that up. So yeah, I guess we're just going to have to sort of sit and wait. I think now is probably going to be a good time for us to accelerate the speed of the game. We've been playing at 1x speed for this whole time, but I'm going to double it up, and we'll have things move a little bit quicker, and hopefully we'll see a little bit better results in a shorter amount of time. Jazlinette has finally become an adult and is now working as a laborer, which is great. We have our 2 necessary laborers before the spring comes and before the ground thaws, so we're going to have enough to have a full complement of farmers here, which is very important because as soon as the ground thaws, these fields will become workable again, and then we'll have our source of food for the fall in full effect. Yes, we'll have peppers, because yes, we only have peppers, our lovely fishing dock, and then a good supply of venison. Look, they've already managed to collect 200 venison and 6 pieces of leather. That's quite successful for the short amount of time that the 2 people have been working. So yeah, we have a healthy supply of food coming in from there and from a couple of different places, so I think we should be good on the food front. 8 of 12 pieces of debris removed from the herbalist build construction location, so hopefully that won't take too much longer. And yeah, we really just need to wait for the ground to thaw before we can do much else. Speak of the devil, look at that. Okay, so the ground has thawed, so we're going to establish our farmers back in full effect, and hopefully they'll get in here very quickly, even though, it's still snowing. Oh, it's cleared up a little bit, and yeah. These pepper fields should be back in working order in no time. In fact, nope, that's Rezi the hunter going back into the woods. Orens, of course, the farmer, came over and tilled the ground for about 2 seconds before deciding that he was really hungry and then headed back home. But he's back now because he lives very close, and he tilled for a couple more seconds, and now he's just walking around and not doing anything. Oh, he changed his mind again. I think Orens is just having some, he's having some internal struggles. Maybe he doesn't always really want to be a farmer, but, oh, he broke his tool. My goodness. I was going to give Orens, the benefit of the doubt and say that maybe he needed some introspection to really decide if he was going to, if he wanted to be a farmer, and then he was going to decide that it was for the better good of the entire of the entire village. But I don't know. Too many excuses in too short amount of time. I'll have to keep an eye on that guy. Meanwhile, we have Artheridin and who is this? Baziah, who are just working away here in this other field and just getting stuff done. And here Tressica has come over to keep Orens company, husband and wife, oddly enough, and I think maybe her being there might help Orens, stay on track a bit better. How's our herbalist coming? Well, they finally removed everything, so they're probably just gathering supplies to start actually constructing it. I'm gonna also grid out some more road here. I think it's important to make sure that we keep the grid constant for our homes at the time, for the time being. Let's see. That's got to be Fisherman. Yep, he's going to deposit some more fish in the storage barn. We have a fairly decent supply of fish. We have a good supply of venison already. Some peppers, obviously, and hopefully we'll get some more results from these fields as the season goes on. Hi everybody, thanks for watching this episode of Banished. I recorded a big long session this time around, so there's a lot more footage of Banished coming up, so keep an eye on the channel and stay tuned for the next episode, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!